So this is my prototype raft for my tank. I had to do a little bit more math than the table I provided, but I calculated that this truss structure here should support about 4 pounds of weight. This is about 4 pounds of weight. I'm going to put my boat in my tank, and I'm going to load it up. I'm just going to support it while I load it. So remember, we're trying to figure out if we have everything that we need to know to get our boats to float. So we've used our problem-solving process to figure out it's not size, it's not weight, but it's density that allows us to predict whether something will sink or float. Now, I'm going to rearrange a couple things here. Okay, so now I have, if you can see, it's floating. Woohoo! It's floating. I don't have it quite levelly loaded. And whoops, there it goes. So I still have something to learn about stability. Always something new to learn. But we are problem solvers, so we can handle it. But what I just did was the equivalent of having these two lockup cups with all the weight in the top and all the surface displacement, the water displacement volume at the bottom. What do you think happens? Again, unless I'm in a submarine and it's enclosed, all my people just got wet. But what if I put all my weight at the bottom? Okay, so I don't have it perfectly loaded and it's a little bit lopsided, but it's doing a lot better. So I need to consider how I load my boat for stability, as well as calculating enough volume to carry the load to displace the water I need. Well, let's look at this little plastic boat. It's pretty stable. So a wider base, not quite as sensitive to the load. If I put everything over to one side, it still has enough margin. So for a traditional boat, you're going to want margin, but you're also going to want to consider how much stability do you want in your platform. Do you want it very maneuverable? So a surfboard has to be narrow. It's not going to be very stable, but you want to be able to turn and cut in a wave. So you want maneuverability. Balance is going to be a challenge, but you need maneuverability. So you go for length and not quite so much width. For a raft in a pool, you want a little bit more width because you don't want to just roll over and tip the raft over. So how you design your boat is going to depend a little bit on what you want it to be able to do. So there's always more to learn, but I think this is a good time to stop and let you design your own boat and see what you want. But the key thing you should have learned today is how to size your boat to carry the load that you want. After that, there's more to learn about dimensions and loading and stability, and those are all things that you can figure out with some testing.